years.
We're so partisan, we're so political, people miss the point when you talk about it. They look at the person. I think what happened to Lagos was that it got very lucky and got a fellow called Bola Ahmed Tinubu to be governor in 1999. Why do I think this is the case? Again, in 1998, after he returned from exile, I ran into him at an event. In fact, he came to me. I didn't really know him. I knew of the name. And he came to me and said hello and said, look, I wanted to meet you when we were in exile. Whenever Nadeko gathered to say, look, what should we do? Chief Enahor or somebody will invariably say, look, who knows what is on ground in Nigeria? Does anybody know what Utomi think of the subject? And he said, invariably, he would be the one. He would have read what I would have written, and he would offer the Utomi position. And that often was where Nadeko chose to go. And I thought, I said, that's very kind of you all. And blah, blah, blah. So when he was elected governor, he sought me out, and he wanted me to work with his team to develop a view of Lagos.
So were you with the transition working group?
Yes, I was chairman of one of those transition working groups. I actually was the one who made the presentation.
Wow.
At the Sheraton, when you give the I don't know what it was called. I made the statement for the group at the Sheraton. But after that, I was then invited to what was like a retreat of the team that he was going to work with in Ijebode, a Gateway Hotel in Ijebode. And subsequently, after he became governor, I used to actually lead the cabinet retreats that they had.
Oh, they were having retreats?
Oh yeah, every quarter in Akodo. Everything that's happening in Lagos was planned back then. That is why my respect and regard for him is extraordinary. And I told somebody this story a few days ago. Why do I think that Bola Tinubu is a leader? In those early days, there was tension. He didn't get along with his deputy. And at one of those retreats we had in Akodo, and of course everybody would talk. In spite of the tension, everything was flowing very smoothly. The deputy was very aggressive in stating her views on things. There would be just quiet, and the conversation would continue as if nothing, either they ignored what she said, or they just politely commented on it and moved on. I said, it's really nice. I'm amazed these fellows can manage these differences so well. That went on until one day that the governor had something to run into Lagos for. Not long after he left, these women in the cabinet, the criminals in Sanko, descended on this woman and tore her to pieces. At that moment, it struck me. It is the aura of this Bola Tinubu fellow that's keeping this place working. That was the day he won my respect. And it is all those plans that have played out. They had problems. They had difficult times. There were times when he got too political. And he had the good judgment to pick a successor. Most of us disagreed. We thought he should pick somebody else. We preferred somebody else. He explained his reason. A successor turned out to do a pretty decent job. And then again, next step. Again, we saw wisdom in the choice that was made. So, gentleman has my respect.